Hey YouTube, it's Marida and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. In this edition, we are going to continue my series of my narcissistic marriage, my road to recovery, and we're going to do an update, a 1-year update. How has it been since he has left a year ago? What has transpired since then? So if you want to see or hear about my update, please stay tuned. All right, welcome back. My name is Dr. Marida P. I'm a registered nurse. However, today we're not talking about nursing. We're actually going to talk about my marriage and what has transpired in the past year. How am I doing? How are the kids doing? And so forth. Has he been around? What has happened since he left a year ago? So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. And if you really need the background, you'll have to go watch some of the other videos. There's probably like 30 videos out on this narcissistic process. So definitely go watch those videos to get caught up. But basically what has transpired is this. Just as a small background, he ended up walking out on us in May of 2020. It is now June of 2021. So it's been a little bit over a year that he has walked out on us. And he basically walked out. He took all the money out the accounts. He did everything he knew to do to sabotage us and these kids. With that being said, I had to end up going on. I was not working. This is in the midst of COVID, mind you. This is in the middle of the pandemic. So I had no income coming in, or very little income coming in. During the summertime, I typically do not work or don't work as much, and I don't get paid. Now, this summer is a little different, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. But I had just finished my doctoral degree in May of 2020, so I was not working yet. My job was going to start in August of 2020. However, I was not going to get paid for my job until September 30th of 2020. So imagine going from May to September 30th and there's no money coming in. So when he left and took everything around Memorial Day of 2020, he left us with absolutely nothing and no money to pay our bills, no money. And what he did was move back in with his father and or girlfriend or whoever he was seeing. He was already moved on to a new supply. He had a new woman that he was talking to. And I know this because, for one, he had posted it on Facebook. Number two, because he calls my boys FaceTime with this new person in the on the FaceTime. On the video, he has this new person sitting on FaceTime, which I think is very inappropriate, but that's another story. So he is living his life. He's working 2 jobs. He's doing everything. He's taking care of them. He bought himself a dog. He had bought himself all new stuff, new AirPods. He had bought a new phone, new clothes, new everything, but he has not done anything for these boys. So fast forward, I go through a period of depression. I mean, there's nothing else to even call it but depression. And to a certain extent, I'm still there. And things are better financially, but just how people can do that to you, how they can do that to their kids, is very disheartening to me. So he is someone who basically left, has not provided any support. I had to go on food stamps, which I'm not above it. I'm not above it at all. I had to go on emergency assistance. Now, part of this was due to COVID, that we qualified anyway, but I had to get food stamps. I had to have emergency assistance. I got unemployment. And then this was back when they were trying to roll out those what do you call them? Those stimulus checks, but trying to figure it out. They already rolled out the first one in April, but we didn't get another one, as you all know, until 2021. 2 of them this year in 2021. And so imagine going an entire summer with no way to feed your kids, besides the food stamps. But it takes a while to get those programs underway. So you don't just go get food stamps today and have it tomorrow. You had to figure out something. But not luckily, but coincidentally, our county had been through a tornado, and our county was also got relief because of the pandemic. So churches and schools and things like that were providing free food for families because of the pandemic. So we kind of got by with that. But we're getting by on like little packets of macaroni and cheese, little this, little that, little filler in things, not things to make a complete meal. But we had to do what we had to do until my food stamps came. Well, when that happened, they were not cutting off lights at this point in time because of the pandemic. So they were not cutting off lights until the end of June. We had till the end of June to get everything caught up and paid. Luckily, by then, I ended up getting unemployment and ended up paying my bills, and I was fine financially for the most part. But when I say he left us for stranded, left us abandoned, that's exactly what he did at that point in time. And then I got my, unemployment, and we got that extra $600 per week. That was helping. I got things caught up. So luckily I had that. But then after all that was said and done, I started my job in August, like I said. And then once I started getting paid for my job, I stopped taking the unemployment because I didn't want to, double dip basically. And I was already working. So I didn't want to double dip, and I could buy my kids their own food. So things were fine regarding finances, but he left us for nothing. After I start getting paid and get everything caught up, things were fine financially, and things still are fine financially because I make enough to take care of everything now, which is wonderful how the tables turn. How we wasn't even making it. We could not even make it with two people incomes, but we are making it just fine because of just me by myself, because we don't have anybody manipulating and taking all the money out and blowing it on something, and I can't pay my bills. We are able to pay our bills now, so that's wonderful. So you may ask, has he had any contact? Has he contacted you? No. In July of 2020, he did contact me via text, simply saying he wanted to see the kids and this, that, and the other. And I said, well, what is your plan to help take care of them? He said he has no plan. And he had bought them some road video game cards, I guess, that I guess could play video games with the kids. I don't know. But anyway, that's what he bought. And I'm like, that doesn't take care of them. I said, nothing that you are doing feeds, clothes, educates, or house these kids. And video game cards are not going to cut it. But he didn't care about that. He wanted to act like he's big brother. They always want to come in and try to save the day with the kids, not knowing the whole time, or the kids not understanding that doesn't take care of them. So yes, of course, it seems like he's great dad because he's playing video games and buying them video game cards, but yet your mama's struggling up here trying to make sure you have food to eat, your lights is on, and you have house to live in, and that you have clothes on your back. And I'm trying to explain to him that doesn't take care of that, but he didn't care about any of that. So fast forward, we don't hear nothing from him, okay? Don't hear nothing from him at all. Football season happens. This is football, August, September, October. Guess who shows up to all his games, all his home games? Guess who shows up? He taking pictures in the whole nine. Now, I can't stop him from doing that and really don't have an issue with that. But he's the type of person who likes to have clout, who likes to say, look what my boy did, look, da-da-da-da-da. But at the same time, you're not taking care of your child. So that I can't stand, but it was what it was. He saw him at the games or whatever, but my son didn't have nothing to say to him because when he called his name, he didn't look his way because it's just like, okay, you ain't doing nothing for us. That's not what he said, but that's how he looked at him. Anyway, fast forward, still not hearing nothing from him. Let's go to December 2020. It's Christmas time now, right? Okay, he gets the boys some Christmas gifts. So guess what he do? He takes the gifts all the way to an hour and a half away to my sister's house and drops them off there instead of coming over to my house 30 minutes away to drop off some gifts. If he didn't want to have to deal with me, all he had to do was just drop him off on the porch and keep it moving and simply say, hey, knock on the door and leave or whatever, like UPS do. Just knock on the door and leave or just leave him out there. No, I said, I'm not going all the way to another city, hour and a half away to pick up no gifts. That was foolish. He's a coward. A coward is what he is. So luckily, my oldest daughter lives in that same city. So when she came to visit, she brought up the gifts for the kids and they played with the gifts or whatever. That's December. Again, I haven't heard from him, haven't did anything financially for him. Let's roll around to April. April are the boys' birthdays. They turn 12 and they turn 9. Both birthdays are in April. So he came to visit them on the youngest one's birthday. Their birthdays are 6 days apart, by the way. So on the youngest boy's birthday, and he ended up bringing, just coming over at 9:30 at night, just random. And I was livid about that because I'm like, okay, first of all, you don't come over here unannounced, number one. And he was like, I'm coming to see my kids. I'm coming to see my kids. And da, da, da. Well, part of me was like, no, because you come unannounced. You ain't did nothing to take care of them. But the part of me was like, okay, you know what? This is, I want the boys to know that I did the best I could for them. And I don't want them to ever, he can't ever say that I denied them to see their father. They can't ever say that, because if he wanted to see them between May of last year and this year, he could have made arrangements to come see them, but he has not made no arrangements, because why? He don't want to financially take care of them. So it is the boy's his birthday. So I said, okay, I let him see the boys. He took, he took pictures. He gave the youngest son $100 for his birthday. The oldest son is a week away. I would have thought he would have gave him something. Nope, he didn't give him nothing. Not that day. Let me take that back. Not that day. He actually went to the school a week and a half later and gave the money to the people at the school, who called me and says, what am I supposed to do with this money? Because it's $100. What am I supposed to do with the money? I told the people at the office, just hold it to the end of the day and give it to my son at the end of the day. And that's what he did. But anyway, so he did give them birthday money, but that is it. And I let them keep their money, spend on what they want to spend it on, because it is their birthday money. But financially, I have not received anything to help for these boys since Memorial Day of 2020. And it is now June, by the time this video comes out, mid-June of 2021. So when I tell you they are bums, they are no good, I'm sure when I actually take this whole process to court that he will have to pay and all of that. But he thinks that he's supposed to come over here and go take him to McDonald's. He thinks he's supposed to come over here and, shoot it up with him, and not shoot it up with him, but, he ha ha with him, play with him, joke with him, and then put him back on the shelf as if that what takes care of a kid. That's not what works for me. Like, you have a financial responsibility. So what has he done since then? Well, he contacted my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. He contacts him and says, this is what they do when they are trying to play the victim as if I'm doing something wrong. And said to them, I really want to see my kids. What can I do to see my kids? And I don't know what they're telling them. But my brother-in-law ended up talking to my sister, who ended up calling me. I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever call me. I didn't say it quite like that. I said, I really don't care what he has to say to you all, because if he want to take care of his kids, all he have to do is contact me. Going to you all don't require him to take care of his kids. And what he's trying to do is paint a picture as if I'm trying to keep the kids away from him. But he's not telling what he's not doing, and that's the problem. Well, my family's like, well, why don't you just talk to him? Well, he has to call me. I'm not calling him. He has to call me. I'm not the one who abandoned the family. He did. Why do we have to? Maybe this is part of the healing process. Maybe I feel like you may feel like, okay, well, maybe you should for the sake of the kids. Well, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm just not. I don't understand how a person can walk out on their family, and even if you don't want to have nothing to do with the wife, how you gonna walk out on your kids and don't make sure that you take care of your kids? A man who wants to, or a woman who wants to take care of their kids, who wants to see their kids, they're going to make a way to see their kids and take care of their kids. They're going to make a way. Whether they have to go through the court system themselves to do it, they will make a way to see their kids. If they have to pacify the mom or the dad in order to get to the child, sometimes they'll do that. But no, he don't want to do any of that. So you can't come up here with brand new this, that, and that, brand new Jordans and brand new all this, that, and the other, but you ain't taking care of your kids. No, you can go ahead and say that, sir. So that's kind of the things that we've been dealing with over the past year. And now it's June, and I haven't heard from him since April, the boy's birthday. This is what he does. And I probably will not hear from him again until this divorce proceeding continues. And they decide that he's going to have to pay child support or whatever's going to have to be done. That's probably when I'll hear from him again, because he said, I'm going to get an attorney. I'm going to get an attorney. With what money? What money you going to get an attorney with? Because you can't even afford to live on your own. You're not taking care of your kids. So what the attorney gonna say? What have you done to take care of your kids? You gonna say that you gave them $100 each for their birthday? That's what you gonna say you done did in the past year? Do you all realize it takes about $13,000 a year to take care of kids? About $13,000 a year to take care of kids. So if it takes $13,000 a year, he already $26,000 behind on these two. Or let's cut that in half, because half is my responsibility. So he's about $13,000 behind on taking care of the kids. So no. That little $100 you put on each child for their birthday don't do nothing. That's the reason why I let them have the money, because I'm like, okay, well, I can't do nothing with it, because I'm taking care of everything myself. So that's where we are with him. Now, where are we with me? With me, I'm going through periods of depression. I can tell you that, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going through periods of depression where I'm kind of like, I'm happy that he's out the house, but I think I'm more so angry that, or at least the grieving process, shall I say. I'm not upset about the marriage being over. I'm happy about that. Because living with somebody like that and who's not taking care of your other responsibilities is a problem. What bothers me is the fact that how can people create children and then walk out of their lives and not have a responsibility for them and how to have a care in the world, but yet go buy a dog, go buy anything that needs to be done. They can do what they want to do on their own. He's living the life he wants to live. He don't have no responsibilities to children. He don't have to get up in the morning, make sure they go to school. He don't take them to no doctor's appointments. It is me who's taking them to every doctor's appointment. It's me who's taking them to every dentist appointment, me who's taking my son to football practice every morning. Here they're going to do a summer learning camp for the kids because of COVID, and they really didn't get the best education this school year. So guess who has to take them every day for that? It's me, you know? And so I have to do all these things by myself. I have to work out schedules by myself. He doesn't have to do any of that. So I think that frustrates me because of the fact that he will not help. He won't help. He just won't help. And with that being said, you know, I was talking about financially this summer, I'm not working. Well, I'm not working this summer because I teach full time in academia. So because I teach full time, for 9 months out of a year, we get paid even during the summer because we get paid for 12 months. So it's a blessing because I have the job that I have, that yes, I'm not working this entire summer, which allows me to spend time with the kids this summer and keep them this summer. But at the same time, at the same time, I get paid. So I'm not missing anything. They're not missing anything. We are fine financially. But that's the kind of things that he was doing, and that's kind of what left us in the ruts that we were in. And like I said, now that we are here, fast forward, I'm actually doing great. I'm happy. I'm happy financially. But I'm not happy because of what's going on in every other aspect of my life and having to try to figure that out and things like that. I'm not in a position to be dating or anything like that, so that's not per se a thing that I'm concerned about. But I guess my thing is, for me, is just like, okay, you know what? What is it that I can do that's going to make our lives better? And for me, the biggest thing I can think of is getting this divorce. So that's what I'm working on right now, is getting this divorce. I still have not, y'all, I've been saying this on every video, you know, start therapy. Every time I get ready to start therapy, for some reason, something makes me not start therapy. I don't know what it is. And I guess because I have to deal with everything, just being kind of vulnerable right now. I will have to deal with everything and talk about everything and conjure up those feelings and those emotions and that anger and things like that. So I promised myself that before I go back to work in August, that I will actually start therapy, because I know that will help me. And there's days where I don't even feel like getting up doing anything, but I have to because of the sake of the kids, and I have to, you know, I have to be productive. So it's little things like that that I know I need to work on. And that's what I'm working on for me, is just getting this divorce ongoing and basically getting therapy underway for all of us. But we have been enjoying traveling more. So we have been to the beach already. We have been to a cave. Me and the boys been to a cave. This weekend coming up, we're going to the mountains, and we're going in July back to the beach, to another beach. So we have been doing things and enjoying life, and it's been great to be able to do different events and still have money left over, which I don't have to worry about, you know, certain things anymore. We're rebuilding. I've bought more furniture. You know, brand new furniture I've bought now since I've had to buy more furniture because of the fact that we lost everything because of him. But I have new furniture now. Things are on the up and up, but it's just a slow process. So I want to say that if anybody's going through this exact situation, you can get there. It takes time. It takes one day at a time. It takes that time for you to say, you know what, let me get my life back on track. This is not right. I wish, you know, I don't know how to go about doing it. You need to come up with an exit strategy. 1 year later, I'm still better than I was, but I'm not where I need to be. And part of that is because of, well, it's mostly because of me, basically. But I'm getting it together. I think I've had so much that I've had to do, but I'm getting it together as we speak. So don't be discouraged. Just know it takes time. And, you know, I'm in a 17-year marriage or a 17-year relationship. So 17 years is very hard to undo. It's not like we were married for a year. We were married for, we've been together for a total of 17 or really 16 years, but the marriage was 17 total. And, you know, how do you move on from that? That's what's hard. Sometimes you're like, okay, what was I doing before I even met this person? And what was I doing before we even got married? Trying to get you back. But you have to realize when I got married, I was in my early 30s. And then we had the boys, and then life took over, and then jobs and education and on and on and on. I'm just trying to work on getting me back, and that's where I am today. So it's just one day at a time. And there's days where you have great days and you're just on top of the world. And there's days where you have not so great days and you are crying and you can't get out the bed and you are hormonal because you're just hormonal anyway. And then you have all this other life stuff going on. So that is normal. Just take the good with the bad. Take it day by day. If today's a bad day, it's just a bad day. You roll with it. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll get up and try to start that process over again and say, okay, let me be more productive today. Let me do something. My thing right now is let me try to do something every single day that makes me happy. And sometimes that means just going to get a smoothie. Sometimes that means just going to work out. Sometimes that means take myself to the movies. And that has been what I've been doing here lately. I have been taking myself out on dates and it is empowering and it is wonderful. So I've been taking myself out on dates and I've been to the movies like two times by myself. And that was the best feeling ever. I don't know what it is about doing something by yourself that feels so great and empowering, but not having to wait on anybody, talk to anybody. You do your own thing, watch what you want to watch when you want to watch it. It's been great. So I did that by myself. I always go out to eat by myself. That's never been a problem for me. I am going to, then we have this called the Nashville Symphony, and I'm going to the symphony by myself in the next couple of weeks 2 times. And because of the whole COVID thing, they're trying to revitalize our city and get people back out again. So they're having free shows, and I'm going to do that by myself. So I'm pretty proud of myself because I'm going to do this by myself, get dressed up, make up the whole 9, just to go on a date by myself. And I think for me, that's been really empowering to do that. To say, okay, you know what, you're not ready, which you can't date because you're still legally married, but you're not ready to date yet, but at the same time, or even entertain somebody because you're still working on yourself, but at the same time, you're not going to sit at home because you don't have to sit at home. You're going to take yourself out on dates. You're going to see what you like, what you don't like, and that way, to be honest with you, when a date come around, you can't impress me with stuff that I already do by myself. You can't impress me with the symphony when I already go to the symphony by myself. You can't impress me with Jay Alexander or Ruth Chris when I already do that by myself. I'm not impressed by it. You got to come up with a little bit more than that. So it's teaching me too how to date again and how to love myself again. And that's really what it's about. Once you date yourself and know what you like, what you don't like, then it's easier for you when you do find someone to say, oh, I got standards now. One thing I will say is, it's not that they haven't approached. I'm talking about men. It's not that they haven't approached. But what I'm beginning to learn as I'm beginning just to see what even is out here on the market, which I'm not looking, is that ain't much changed since when I was in my 20s. Ain't much changed at all. So I'm learning that I have to have certain standards, which I already have. But anything that reminds me of what I'm already dealing with is a red flag for me, and it's a no. So if you already inconsistent, you already don't have the energy, put in the effort, you already lying about something, I don't have time for that. So I'm at that time in my life now where I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not deal with anybody and just deal with myself and focus on me and getting me healthy, working out, doing things like that than I would in terms of just trying to really trying to be dating somebody. So I need to get one chapter closed before I even open another chapter anyway. And that's kind of how I'm going to do it. But anyway, enough of this video. That's the update for the past year. Things are better, but they are not where they need to be, obviously. And I will get there, and I will keep you all updated on my journey in terms of when I start counseling, when I start everything like that, and how things go, even when I go to court eventually. But that's it for the most part. So comment anything you want to comment below, ask questions or whatever. I do not entertain any negativity on this channel. So if anybody wants to come and say, well, he sounds like he's not a narcissist, he sounds like he's just a bum. Well, he was a bum and he was a narcissist too. So guess what? He was both of them. But keep your negative comments to yourself. We have people who come to these videos to heal or come to these videos to realize they're not by themselves, and they don't need you who don't understand even what this is about to come with the negativity, because I will shut you down. But we have people who are going through things who this is fresh for them. They are in the situation and they're discovering that's what they have going on and they don't know how to get out of it. They don't need your input to say, well, they're just a bum or there's that and the other. Again, if you don't have anything positive to say, just go ahead and skip it, because if not, I will come for you. Don't. I'm not the one to play with when it comes to me, my channel, or my kids, or anything like that. So that's your warning right there. Let's keep it positive. The people who I actually do watch for narcissistic or narcissism are down below, but some of the ones that in the comments are in the description box. But associate direct in terms of, his name is Quinn Holliday. He is one that I actually watch all the time still when it comes to this topic. Dr. Carmen Bryant is somebody I also watch when it comes to this topic. Dr. Les Carter I watch a lot when it comes to this topic. Sarah Speaks, I watch quite often. But there are a few that I watch that really kind of uplift me and really help me get through this process myself. Bishop, I don't know if he's a bishop, but R.C. Blakes Jr., he's a pastor and maybe a bishop, I don't know. But he's someone who kind of touches on these topics as well as what a queen or what a woman should be doing when she is trying to manifest her best self. When it comes to dealing with men or just trying to uplift herself, that is somebody to watch to uplift you as a woman in addition to dealing with bad people, toxic people. So those are a few, but I will put them in the description box below. Definitely watch these videos. I have like 30 something of them. If you are interested in this, I have nursing videos if you think you want to be a nurse or whatever. And I have, of course, other content as well. Until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.